Hey everybody, it's Lance the Lush. Now you notice right now, I'm not really doing a review. I just want to chat today. There's an item. There's two items I want to get off my chest today. Now the first thing I want to talk about is something I've seen in one of the Facebook forums I'm in, or Facebook pages I'm on. Excuse me. Actually, the original article is from Fortune magazine, and I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to look at my monitor as I talk to you. As soon as I find which tab I have open, I have like 20 tabs open. And the title of the article says, America now has a record high 5,000 breweries and counting. Now, the source article is actually from the Brewers Association. Now, this is from December the 5th. Now, I didn't really talk about it back then. Now, according to them, as of that post, there are 5,005 breweries in the U.S., and it says almost all, 99%, are small, independent craft brewers, and by comparison, there are 10,000 wineries in the United States. Now, Lush fans, I'm going to say this. In case you're wondering what I'm drinking, I'm drinking the Christian Moreland Bay of Bengal. It is 8.9% alcohol by volume, and the IBUs are a head slapping, or face slapping, 126. Now look, I'm calling bullshit on that number. Now, I honestly think, and before anybody call me out on this, hear me out when I say this, I think there's closer to 10,000. And not necessarily the quote unquote brewers, which I say in in air quotes. Now there might be a hard 5,005. Now that number is probably legit if you're counting the gypsy brewers, but you also have to count the home brewers that that give away stuff to their friends or sell under the table, or even or the home brewers that go to the major competitions and have their wares there, or even the bars that do it themselves and sell it under the table. And let me explain. I've been to bars in Southeast Ohio that do that. So that does happen. So don't tell me it doesn't happen, because it does. You know, I want to sit down and have a discussion with brewers, reviewers, the regular Joe or Jane off the street that love craft beer. I want to have a nice, large conversation with all you guys. And I know it's going to be long and tedious and arguing. I understand that. However, I want to say this. The discussion needs to be had. Are there too many? I'm talking about actual brewers, legitimate brewers. Now, I seen an article that one of the people posted in one of the beer Facebook pages I'm on, that how many Colorado alone is opening up here in the next few months. They have a fuck ton there, and that's the epicenter of craft beer, which I totally understand. I really do. California's the same way. But I think the flip side is there's complete dead zones. Are we getting to a point to where they're going to start be seeing serious quality control problems? And let me explain why. Now, there are places like here in Akron, for instance, we can support probably 10 to 12, even at a population of 197,000, because it's so interpersonal. Meaning, like the brewer or the brewmaster or the owner, we see them in the store every single day. We can stop talking to them; they'll talk to us. Not like they get like really big for their bridges. They think they're way better than anybody else. And I saw that nonsense with that one down in Florida. I mean, I hope that doesn't happen on a wide scale. That's just bullshit. It really, really is. But I'm getting a little off topic there. But my whole thing is quality control. It really, really is. Quality control or lack thereof. And I apologize, folks. I'm going to light a cigar because this is a very serious subject for me. I don't see it yet, at least not in this part of the country, but I see it in places like Colorado or California. Florida, I really don't see. Michigan is kind of borderline. Um, I know Nevada is coming up here real soon. Is coming up with it. Now the Northeast, at the pace they're going with the Northeast style IPA, I see that in the next 5-7 years. I see a collapse, a complete and total collapse, and meaning mediocre mediocrity, and that's what I see. If you had an IPA one place and you have it another place, it's the exact same thing. There's no originality, and that's my biggest fear in all of this. People get bored of what they want. No, not necessarily what they want or what they need. It's a need, not a want. As far as that. Now, as far as the want standpoint, humans are a creature of adventure. They want something different eventually. That's just the facts, Lush fans. It really, really, really is. And that's never going to change. That's just human nature. And we all know that. I don't necessarily want to see a collapse, but I honestly see a collapse. And I don't want to say that, but I just totally see it. Now, what you think as far as that? Let me know in the comments below. I know it's a touchy subject. Excuse me. I was at Rubber City on Beer Fest last week. I asked a question in my interview as far as that. They were kind of taking a gas as far as that, but they understood why I asked the question. But what say you? What do you see? We all want great brew. We all want to see that. But what do you think is going to happen? Not necessarily tomorrow, next week, next month, or even next year. What do you see what I'm talking about 5 to 7 to 10 years down the road? Now, going on to the second part of Lush Talks. You know, I've been fighting this for a year and a half. I really, really, really have. But there's something I really, really want to do. I'm definitely going to get into home brewing. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people, from my fans, from friends, from family members that I actually still talk to. Let's see here. There's a couple of brewers that ask me about it. There's a lot of people that want me to get in it, and I fought it, and I fought it, and I fought it. But now, Key from Open Bottle Society. Now, I understand they're a show full of assholes. They'll tell you that up front. He basically told me to do it. Not in the Cliff's Notes version. And he's right. I need to do it. I need to do it for myself, number one. Because I want to do it. But honestly, I was completely and totally scared about it. I really, really was. Not because I'm a perfectionist. That's not even the issue with me. It really, really isn't. I want to do it for myself, number one, to prove that I can do it. And number two, I want to have my friends to enjoy it. And that's very, very important to me. So I'm going to do it. Now, I got to get the kits and everything. So stay tuned as far as the videos start to uploading. That should start probably in May, June. So don't quote me on that. But that's coming as far as that. So you will go with me, so to speak, on what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. We're holding each other's hand, basically, on the whole process. But you're going to see it through my eyes. And I want to do that. And yes, I know there's videos out there. Like, I'm really watching The Girl Next Door. She's actually doing it right now. But I'm trying to do it a little more interpersonal than her. and I'm not saying nothing to you, um, Maria, excuse me, but it's like one of those ones to where I want to be a little more hokey, like I'm talking now. There's a lot of like, since I'm dyslexic, so it's one of those ones I'm gonna slur words, mispronounce words, say stuff backwards. All this stuff comes with being dyslexic, and I hear a car horn outside of my apartment. You know, but it's I'm sorry, Lush fans. It's one of those ones to where that's upcoming. Now, here's my plan. Now, my friend, if I ever get a hold of him, he's gonna run me over and get the kit. Now, my understanding is I gotta keep it in dark light. I understand that, so I'll get a couple of put like three leaf trash bags over the glass bottles. And yes, I did say that because I don't want to jack around with PVC plastic. So unless I absolutely have to, I might do it for the initial, but for the fermentation, I'm using glass. So that's one of those ones to where that's a personal point for me. Now, here's my plan. Now, do not hold me to this. So keep that in mind. Now, when my initial batch, I'm doing an American Pilsner. Here's the reason why. I'm going to have, obviously, the initial set for myself and to my close friends. But the bar I go to, which is Karam's Lounge here in Akron, and yes, that's a free plug. Go see the girls over there on Albrecht over in L section Akron. They I want to give it to all of them to try it because that's an American beer bar, and they're gonna shoot me straight. They're not gonna bullshit me if it's good or bad, and they're gonna tell me what I need to do. Now my second batch is gonna be not a Pilsner, excuse me, a porter. I'm a porter guy. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows me that knows craft beer knows that. I will drink a porter all day long, year round. That is something that I love. I know a lot of people don't like it, but that's what I like. That's my second batch. That's probably mid to late summer. Now my third batch, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do this. I want to do something with starfruit. Now I know that's a very, very unusual craft to make. And I know they're out there. So Lush fans, keep in mind, I know that Starfish craft beer is out there, but I already know that it's going to default to a Shandy. That's the only way that goes down. You're not going to hop up something like that and make it right. This is not going to happen. It's going to be a Shandy. A gauche is borderline because keep in mind, if you're not very familiar with starfruit, a starfruit is a hybrid. So it can go either way from a Shandy and a gauche, but I'm keeping it Shandy just to be safe. Excuse me. I'm slurring my words now, excuse me. 8.9% at 126 IBUs is going to happen. So keep that in mind. So I want to do something as far as the brewing process with a pressure cooker. Now, I got to start talking to brewers about that. I don't know if anybody's ever tried that. I'm pretty sure they have by this stage of the game. There's got to be a way of doing it. Not necessarily from the... I'm talking about from the fermentation process. Not speeding it up, but to pressurize it, to compact it. Not to make it, necessarily yeasty, but to make it more full body, if that makes more sense. So there's got to be a way of doing that. Now that leads me to another thing. Do I plan on opening a brewery? Now look, as I said in the beginning of this video, I honestly think there's closer to 10,000 craft brewers out there that actually has stuff available right now. Do I want to? Of course. And the reason why is this. As far as I'm talking about the quote-unquote black Americans, and I'm saying that quotation marks, because people who know me know that color or race doesn't mean a damn to me. But as far as those quotation marks, there's not that many of us out there. and I want to make a stand. Even if it's a bad stand, I want to make a stand in that. But that's a long-term plan. I honestly thought I can buy somebody's bar out and do it that way by the end of the year, but I gotta wait because I want to train myself and train myself in the right way. I want to start making my own craft beer. Not as these guys out here making a few home brews and open up a place. Not like that. I want to make home brews. I want to get myself comfortable enough where I can do it. I want to I want to work someplace part time initially to learn the actual brewing process and how it works. And I'm talking about in a smaller scale. Then work my way up to a larger scale. Then become a brewmaster's apprentice. Then become the junior brewmaster. Then become the and hopefully become the brewmaster themselves. So it becomes a 3 to 5 year plan depending on how fast it moves. Now, I gotta follow the steps for you car people, you car salespeople out there might be watching this, or any salespeople. You gotta follow the steps. There's a process involved with this. So, is that the end game? Sure, but you never know right now. That's a long way off, and like I said, we don't know yet. Well, Lush fans, I'm gonna get off here and stop yapping. I want to get on here and talk to you guys today, but this is the Lush Talks. And always be careful and remember, fear the rue, like I said on my other channel, but stay tuned for the next edition of Lance the Lush.